Thanks for being here, Aries. This is your Virgo season reading, and we will be going about the reading starting with the center card, which is representing your heart space, and then the card across from it on the left in the center will be the card in the first house position, and we will work counterclockwise until we get over to the 12th house, which will be Pisces. So we'll work around the board on the wheel, going through your messages intuitively. So I have no idea what's going to come out here, and I hope that you will just get something of value out of this reading. So I'm seeing a lot of really beautiful images to begin with. So maybe you'll just be experiencing a month. It also feels kind of high-keyed in general, a little bit dramatic, and a little bolder than normal, a little bit more exciting. So maybe you're going to have a time during the season that feels like this. In your heart space, I see a sense of balance. I see you really feeling awakened here and wanting to lead here. It feels like there's a lot of potential here too. Like you have a lot of energy going on here, speaking of growth and balanced growth in particular. And that it's very positive, it's very heartfelt as well. And it could keep expanding. So this could be the source of all of this other more heightened energy I'm already picking up across the board here. In your first house, getting a strong sense of something phallic for some reason, and almost a multiple phallic presentation here. So maybe there's something going on. It feels like it's in the past though, like you're reflecting back to something. So maybe you're thinking over a history of experiences that were physical in nature, sexual and physical in nature. And there seems to be a strange feeling about this. Like maybe it's not like you're angry, but you're not quite settled on how you feel about this. There may be some uncertainty basically, and trying to see things clearly, yet they are appearing not as beautiful as you'd like them to be. There's almost a horrific quality to how you are perceiving something here. And by doing that, you could be hurting yourself a little bit, causing some unnecessary prodding. But maybe, on the other hand, maybe it is necessary. Maybe you need to go deep and explore something to really get to, the true essence of it, the true root of it. And I do see you isolated doing this, and almost in a whole different world that you've created. And it definitely has that feeling of the subconscious. So there's a good chance that you could be kind of going in here. And since this is in your first house, it could really be speaking at how these issues are influencing your sense of self-identity and how you see yourself, how you present yourself to other people. So you may be going through a process of transforming what that sense of self is. Now I'm looking at your second house, and this is your house of value. And I see you a little bit disgruntled and of two minds, and maybe coming to a position of shutting yourself off from the opinions of others, what has been presented to you as, could even be, sort of in your community or your ancestors, what seems to be cemented in pillars of truth, you may be caught between. And I think that you're feeling kind of isolated, and that you need to just sort of face things on your own, because you're not able to trust the other people in your life. Or you may just understand that there's a time when you need to stand in your own truth, and looking to others for help, seeking wisdom and advice outside of yourself may not actually be helpful for you, that you do need self-reliance in some circumstances to take responsibility for your own life. And this may be in an area that is hard for you, something that you don't want to face and make a decision about. Yet I see you remaining strong about it, at least. You may not be making the decision right away or doing what actions need to be done right away, but it seems like you're trying to make a solid decision once you do. And I'm going to look at your third house now, which for me is more of like the house of communication and what's going on in your immediate surroundings, the chatter of life. Things here feel a little bizarre. Like you may be moving through territory that doesn't feel necessarily real. So you may be communicating in a way that's really expressive and may even have something to do with the arts, the fine arts, or that may be a way that's being communicated to you. Like you may be having to interact with the fine arts in some way, and you're noticing the importance that color plays and symbols and shapes play into how you communicate. And you may be more traditional in how you want to relate your messages and move through certain themes and be in certain places and interact with people. Yet you're finding that your mode of doing this and what's actually available to you are two different ways of going about things. And because of that, I feel like there's a sense of isolation and an inability to actually communicate at all. Like you will maybe feel like there isn't a way to participate. So maybe you're going to have to consider a form of adaptation here, or taking an opportunity to move into an environment that suits you more. Okay, now we're looking at your fourth house, which is the house of home and family, history, personal history. There's a sense of calm here and of resting and thinking, and maybe even doing a little shadow work. There also may be someone in your environment that's close to you that is pensive as well. So this could be someone else. But there seems to be a real observational quality about what's going on, just waiting and looking and thinking. So it's very introverted. So you may have a nice quiet patch here. You may find a lot of solitude and respite at home and amongst your family. And this may be needed for you to do a period of self-reflection. We're going to look at your 5th house. And there's something here. So this to me is about your personal power and how you put that out in your environment, how you kind of stage yourself and claim your authority, and you're not necessarily intimidated and weakened by others around you, but you're able to shine and be in your authority. And for this time period, it feels very magical to a certain degree. Like you may be learning to blend the elements of the earth and of the cosmos together, and how you see things and how you want to be perceived. And in the presence that you carry, you need to have the best of both worlds. And because of that, it makes you feel lighter. It makes you feel more in tune with the whole of your existence instead of in this fragmented part. And it also helps you feel like you belong to this world and to this reality, and that you belong to the cosmos as well, that you on your own can be enough, just with the elements from the earth and from the cosmos in a way. And it kind of extends out of this isolation feel that I'm getting so far throughout cards that I've observed thus far in this reading. Time to reflect, time to be alone, time to stand on your own, act from your own authority, choose your sources of inspiration, be your authentic self. We're going to take a look here at your 6th house. For me, this is the house of healing and daily maintenance. And it seems like you are really, like you have this down. There's a lot of composure here. Just a certain sense of mastery that you are carrying all these little bits of information with you, and they all come together. You have a full library of resources that you can pull from and use for your own empowerment. And if you're using it for your empowerment, then you're able to empower others as well. And again, we're getting this sense of a connection to something cosmic as well as earthly. Very, very prevalent message here of you understanding mastery in both of these realms. And there may even be mastery here to the point of knowing how to notate it symbolically, how to write about it, how to preserve it and give it meaning, and be able to communicate that and relate this information. Although it does feel fairly cryptic, it's quite coded, which may be taking us back to your 3rd house in Gemini, where I was speaking about not really communicating in a way that other people can relate to. So you may be using something that feels a little bit archaic instead of a more modern approach. But for you personally, it's serving its purpose, and so maybe you're going into something that's older, a language that you don't even understand, and having to decipher it for your own self-healing. We're going to look here now at your 7th house, which is the house of balance and justice and relationships. You have a very powerful card here. I see that there's a lot of protection for your heart space and a willingness to fiercely protect it should you need to, because you see it as very precious and you know its value. Therefore, you understand the importance. It's like you've nurtured it, and now you understand that because you've done that, you need to protect it. And it's not in a way where you're putting up a wall or you're putting out a signal that you are, on the defense or the offense. But it is to say that you are empowered. You will take the necessary actions and words when needed to serve your highest good, because you know that extends to others. When you serve yourself best, you can serve others as well. And you seem to have brought passion into your thought space too. You're really in your instincts and knowing what it is that you truly, truly care about on that, base and root level. And you will even use that to protect yourself as well, as in your thoughts and in your intuition and how you're speaking, that you feel very motivated from just, your true instincts in this way. It does feel like you have been able to access higher energies and insights, and that you're able to just carry that with you, like they have been established, these energies. The circuits have been made, like you have a strong connection in these areas. So it's not like you're trying to cultivate it. You have this ability of, like, you're lit in these areas and ready to go. There does seem to be a way of, again, I'm getting this perception thing, like how you're looking, and this is definitely the third card here that is making me think that you're perceiving things. And in this particular card, the way that you are perceiving something may feel intimidating to other people if they know how you're perceiving this. And it may even have you feeling a little bit more fierce than what you are even accustomed to. It may feel a little bit out of character even for you. And so you may not be 100% comfortable with what you're perceiving. But nonetheless, it feels right. And it feels like it's part of this transformative power that you are in right now. Like this won't be how you are always, but it's a moment that's leading you to something else, which goes back to that first house message I was getting. Now we are looking here at your 8th house. This is the house of the subconscious, of going deep, of mystery. And again, I'm getting this specialized language, like and a portal and a way of perceiving something through symbolism as a kind of filter. But where it's leading you, I don't think you necessarily understand. I don't know if it's giving you any further illumination than the joy itself of understanding the symbol. Like maybe the symbols and the way that you're communicating are not applicable to yourself personally. Like you can't identify with them. They don't relate to who you really are and how you really want to express yourself. So again, there's another like communication thing, not really being able to use what tools you have as language to get to the essence, the understanding, the expression of who you really are. And we are going to look here now at your 9th house. Again, I see you as reaching your highest high, like you really solidified yourself at your best. You came into the highest version of yourself and you did the most that you could with that. And now you can choose to stagnate or you disintegrate. You have to change. You always have to be in the state of becoming. Otherwise, it's death. Like if you don't keep transforming, there's nothing there, there's no potential for growth. There's no more life in what you're doing. So even though you may have achieved something remarkable and beautiful, and you may have built some outstanding character and leadership, there's always more. And I feel as if you could let go of what this is, these achievements that maybe you let identify you, and have created a fairly prominent image that you present to your world, there's more waiting for you that is softer, is beautiful, that wants to make you feel ways that are different than just feeling like you are in your personal authority and mastery. It's good to be the student again sometimes. It's good to be the novice and just lost in wonder and having a sense of learning again ahead of you. And we are getting this symbol of, like the geometry, basically symbolism in itself, and just this presence again of learning something or knowing some higher energy. So maybe through a process of letting go of your former self, you are learning to embrace life in a way and in a new way. And in order to do that, you almost have to learn a new language. So you could very well be studying something that could be of a spiritual nature. Definitely something that's really, higher knowledge. And this could help you reinvent yourself. Looking now at your 10th house, which is your height of achievement in the world and what you build. Yes, I'm definitely getting this sense of you are already really strong, and you have very good self-composure, excellent leadership abilities, and a resourceful leader to the point where every part of you has become useful. Yet maybe those that need you are looking for something else. They're looking for a different type of leader now, something that relates to them and not so much you, as if you're two different species. So again, there could be a need for you to communicate on other people's levels or on their terms, to be more relatable for them, to get their attention, to help them build really strong communities and build from, very lofty ideals. I'm going to take a look now at your 11th house, which is your service to humanity and also your claim to your individuality. I see you embracing this new, language, almost as if it's a technology, as if it's a vehicle that can move you not only in your outdoor space, but can cause you to change from within too. That, again, we're getting this transformation theme coming through. And it's rebuilding. If you're finding yourself relating to this and you're rebuilding kind of through a new set of tools, a new way of perceiving reality, of communicating with reality, you're not losing your sense of this ability to care for all aspects of your reality, but you're definitely claiming even more space, claiming even more. It's becoming more cosmic. It's whatever this is. It's getting out of the earthly realm and definitely more into the heavenly realm, and a stronger connection being built through this. Especially if you are looking to the moon as well. You may find, if you study the moon a little bit, a lot of wisdom could be bestowed on you with that. And it may just help you do the inner reflection that you need to do, which helps you then perceive reality differently. And your final card is going to be the 12th house. And here I do see you surrendering to this and saying, yes, I will accept this connection, and I will communicate in this way. It's not that you're only accepting something in of higher knowledge, but it's almost instantaneous, like there is a circuit instantly created as you receive, you give. And so you really may be service driven and have this need to be this role in your reality right now. And, it's a reciprocal role. So you must receive, you must be taking things in as you're giving them out. And, you learn and you teach at the same time. And by doing this, it feels like you really relax into it. You no longer are quizzical about really your comfort with this and at odds with maybe being self-reflective. You seem to be enjoying the process and at peace with it, and completely at one with the way that you're communicating. It's almost like you've learned to communicate with reality in a whole new way. So we are going to end your reading right there, and I want to thank you so much for joining me for this reading. You guys take exceptional care.